Welcome to Sleepyhead Stories today. We love to read books, be silly, and play. Me and my mommy are here every week to read you great stories that all are unique. Join us at bedtime, or bath time, or breakfast. We promise it's better than a trip to the dentist.
Welcome to Sleepyhead Stories. Hello, guys.
Hi, dear.
Welcome back to another episode of Sleepyhead Stories. Jenna's staring at me. So today, guys, we are going to be reading book number 2 in the Land of Lots series. And book number 2 is, you want to hold the book up, the cover?
Land of Lots, Plan Gill.
Plan Gill. And we're going to learn all about the umlaut Gill today and what his special trait is. What is his special trait?
He loves to talk.
He talks a lot. Gill loves to talk a lot.
I can relate.
Yes, and we are going to learn about how Lovelot makes a plan for Gill to kind of like help him along the way with the fact that he likes to talk a lot. Okay, and we're going to find out how she helps him and what they do in the end.
Okay.
And in the back of each Land of Lots books, guys, there is a list of all the umlauts. Remember, the umlauts, if you've listened to the first episode, you'll know what we're talking about. So if you don't know what we're talking about, you got to listen to the first episode. But there's this land of all these umlauts, and each umlaut has a special trait, and you can maybe relate. Like Conchetta said, she can relate with Gill because she likes to talk a lot. And some of the others are, like, what does Cubby love?
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta hug it out, man.
Yes, Cubby likes to hug a lot. And let's see, we're also going to be reading next week about Paige, and Paige loves to read. She loves to read lots. So we're going to read about all of these guys. Now, this week we are going to be listening to another audio version of the story with all the cool sound effects and stuff, which makes it really even more exciting to listen to. And Conchetta's showing you all the umlauts. And I hope you enjoy. And if you haven't listened to the first episode, please go back and listen because we have an interview with co-creator Sue Willis on there. It's really interesting.
This is the second.
Yes. So, let's see. Let's show them the umlauts up close. So, for those that are watching at home, you can get a kind of a visual. Okay. Here's some of them. This is Gill down here. He's a fish.
I can relate to him.
Yes. And then here's the other side. Here's a few more.
I think Paige looks really cute.
Paige, yep. She's the cat. All right, guys. So there you go. Right after this, we're going to listen to the story, Land of Lots, Plan Gill. What's this book up here, Conchetta? You want to tell us all about it? You're learning in school? Or you learned all week in school?
This is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, Conchetta really did a lot of work and research on him this week at school.
Can I show them it?
Sure, if it's right handy. And she came home every day this week with a new activity that they did about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and she would tell us all about what she learned. She even had some great little projects she made, so she's going to show you here.
I could only find the first one.
Why don't we just flip through? You don't have to read all of it, but just kind of tell them what it is and turn it around so they can see the people that are watching.
All about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Mm-hmm.
This is like his life story.
Mm-hmm.
This is like changing the world, like when he did the march and everything, and his speech. And this is like what I learned. Like, for example, Where was Martin Luther King Jr. born? Atlanta, Georgia. Who was he married to? Coretta Scott King. What did Martin lead in Montgomery, Alabama? Bus boycott in Alabama. What did he organize in Washington, D.C.? March on Washington. What was the name of his famous speech? I Have a Dream.
Very good. So if you had
I even memorized the speech. It goes like, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character.
Very good, very good. So Martin Luther King was for civil rights. He was one of the civil rights movement leaders, correct?
Correct.
Yes, and Conchetta learned about him all week, and she really enjoyed it. And we, for you guys that have been with Sleepyhead Stories for a long time now, we have an episode where we read this book with his actual speech in it. So if you want to go back and find that episode, please do, because this Monday is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day that we celebrate here.
I have a day off of school.
In America, yes, and we have a day off of school for that. So to reflect on all the important things that he's done. Okay? All right, guys. So right after this, we're going to get into Plan Gill. Sound good? All right, guys. Hold on. Hang in there. Hang in there.
Land of Lots, written by Christian Carl and illustrated by Joyce Fan with Chuck and Sue Willis. Lovelot was just a girl roaming through space. Till she came upon a strange and magical place. She decided to take a closer look. And so begins our second book, The Land of Lots. After wandering about everywhere, hello, 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 she discovered the Umlauts who lived there. One of those Umlauts was a fish named Gill. How do you do? He was known for running his mouth at will. Blah 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 blah. Today he had a tale to tell that was extra tall. I've got a story to tell about the ocean blue. It might sound unbelievable, but honest to God, it's true. And he couldn't wait to tell not just one umlaut, but all. If one story isn't enough, I'll tell two. It's not like they have anything better to do. He thought Cubby should be the first to hear his tale, but he was too busy hugging an whale. Hey, Cubby! Not now, man. I have to hug this thing while I can. He knew Dewey was always up for a good story, but he was too busy rocking and roaring with Rory. Hey, Dewey! Don't mean to be rude, but we've got to keep jamming, dude. He thought if anyone would lend him an ear, it was Rudy, but Peggy was keeping him busy on kitchen duty. Hey, Rudy! Sorry, too much grime, not enough time. He thought Penny might like a good yarn session, but she was too busy writing her name on all her possessions. Hey, Penny, maybe tomorrow. I've got too many things I won't let anyone borrow. He wondered if Lovelock could tell him why no one seemed to care, because when an umlaut needed her, she was always there. I have an incredible story not one umlaut wants to hear. Any time isn't always a good time to tell a story, dear. Come to think of it, they were all in the middle of something. Maybe there's a way to get everybody listening. I guess if anybody can help me, you can. Not to worry, Gill. I have a plan. Psst, 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 psst. While Gill walked away feeling good about Lovelot's plot, she went off to have a word with every single umlaut. She asked Cubby to gather some very large boulders while she took a ride on his shoulders. She asked Peggy to whip up a sweet surprise while Rudy thought of the mess and rolled his eyes. She asked Rory and Dewey to stop their high kicks and give her a hand gathering some sticks. She asked Penny to stop labeling for the rest of the day and help her knit some blankets straight away. Meanwhile, Gill floated on his floaties in the lagoon till the sun gave way to the moon. Everything was ready for Lovelock's plan, while Gill made his way back to dry land. The campfire was lit, and everyone gathered round. When Gill returned, he couldn't believe what he had found. They were all ready and waiting to hear his tall tale. Cubby even invited the whale. The stage was set, and it was time for Gill to do his thing. But he just sat there, silently thinking. He noticed the chirping of crickets filled the night, and so talking right now just didn't feel right. It's best we let them sing. After all, there's something to be said for listening. Lovelock gave Gill a knowing glance, and each and every umlaut began to dance. Of course this was Lovelock's plan all along. Who else do you think asked the crickets to break into song? Psst, 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 sing, and then it'll be wonderful. It'll make everyone think about this.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. Remember, guys, you can now watch Sleepyhead Stories episodes on YouTube and Spotify. Make sure to send us a shout out. Tell where you are from and what your favorite book is. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, and all major podcast platforms. We also have a website, sleepyheadstoriespodcast.com. Thanks again. Goodbye.